Or, in a house where the sun seemed to shine only on one child, lived two sisters, Emily and Emma. Emily, with a heart as kind as her hands were busy, shouldered all the household chores without complaint. Her sister, Emma, on the other hand, was the apple of their mother's eye. Pampered and lazy, spending her days in idle leisure. One morning, while Emily was diligently working on a beautiful cross-stitch by the old well, a startled rooster flapped its wings right in her face. The shock made her drop the precious fabric, and it vanished into the well's dark depths. Panicked and desperate to retrieve her work, she leaned too far over the edge and tumbled in. But instead of a cold, watery end, Emily found herself in a sun-drenched, magical garden. A natural instinct to help immediately took over. She saw a little rabbit struggling to pull a huge carrot from the ground and rushed to its aid, easily freeing the tasty prize. A little further on, she noticed a beautiful rose wilting under the sun. Through without a second thought, she found a small pail, filled it with water from a nearby stream, and carefully nourished the thirsty flower, watching it perk up in gratitude. Her path through this enchanting land eventually led her to a quaint cottage. The door opened to reveal a mysterious but kind-looking woman named Holly. Seeing Emily's predicament, Holly offered her shelter and warm meals. All she asked in return was a simple task. Every morning, Emily was to shake out her feather bed until the feathers flew like snowflakes. With no other way to get home, Emily gratefully accepted. Day after day, she performed her duty with the same diligence she showed at home. Third, the cottage was always tidy, the bed perfectly fluffed, and in return, Holly provided her with the most delicious food she had ever tasted. But as time passed, a deep sense of homesickness began to gnaw at her. She missed her own world, however imperfect it was. Sensing her sadness, Holly smiled gently. "You have served me well, dear child," she said. "It's time for you to go home." She let Emily to a magnificent, gleaming golden door. As Emily stepped through the archway, a shower of pure shimmering gold rained down upon her, transforming her simple clothes into a beautiful gown. And there, placed gently back in her hands, was her lost cross-stitch, more vibrant than before. In a blink, she was standing by the well in her own yard. A sudden, dazzling appearance, leaving her mother and sister speechless. Emily recounted her adventure, explaining that the gold was her reward for the hard work and kindness she had shown in Holly's service. Greed instantly lit up her mother's eyes. Determined that her favorite daughter should have the same fortune, she forced Emma to follow in Emily's footsteps. Ma, grumbling, deliberately tossed a piece of embroidery into the well and jumped in after it. She too landed in the magical garden. But when she saw the rabbit struggling with the carrot, she scoffed, "Why should I help you? Do it yourself." When she passed the wilting rose, she sneered, "Not my problem," and walked on. She eventually found Holly's cottage and was offered the same arrangement. For one single day, Emma put in a minimal effort, shaking the feather bed just enough to get by. But by the second day, her inherent laziness took over completely. She refused to get up, leaving the bed unmade and the feathers unsorted. The once tidy cottage quickly fell into disarray. Holly, her kind face now stern, declared that Emma's time was up. Expecting a shower of gold, Emma eagerly followed her to the golden door. But as she stepped through, it wasn't gold that rained down. Instead, a torrent of thick, sticky mud poured over her, covering her from head to toe. It was the perfect reward for her sloth and selfishness. She reappeared by the well, not as a golden princess, but as a filthy, humbled girl. The stark contrast between her return and her sister's was a lesson harder than any scolding. Shamed and humbled by the experience, Emma finally understood the value of effort and the emptiness of idleness. From that day forward, a change came over her. She began to work alongside Emily, sharing the burdens and the joys together. Through their combined efforts, they found a true and lasting happiness that no amount of unearned gold could ever buy.